Hello and welcome to the first video in a series I'm calling Mechanical Engineering 101. In these videos, I want to pass on as many of the lessons as I can that I've learned in the last 20 years being a design engineer. So subscribe to hear more and feel free to comment if you have topics you'd like me to talk about. This video is about engineering drawings. I know, not something that people get super excited about, but they're a super critical part of what you'll do day to day as an engineer. So buckle in and learn as much as you can. You'll be better because of it, I promise. Let's dig in. So let's cover the basics of why you should care about drawings. You're going to do a lot of work. You're going to brainstorm, you're going to concept, you're going to do all this stuff. You're going to model, you're going to then come up with a drawing. You're going to send that over to purchasing. Purchasing is going to send that along with a pile of money to a vendor. That vendor is going to make a whole bunch of parts. When they send those parts back to you, and half of them don't work because you didn't do your job, and bolts won't fit through holes, and motors won't mount up to mounting plates, things don't work right because you didn't take the time to do your tolerancing correctly, that's on you, and that's not a good place to be. A lot of people just think of creating drawings as the boring part of designing a product. And while it may not be quite as exciting, it is the final output of a lot of design work. All your research, like brainstorming, all your concepting and modeling, testing, meetings, budget, all of that gets represented in that drawing. All of those things inform that drawing, and you want all of that information and all the decisions that were made during those meetings and those any testing. You want the results of that to all be reflected in the drawing, whether it's in a tolerance, a note, a material that you spec out. It's really important because it is the product and it is the thing that conveys what you need this part to do. Now, there are many things you need to keep in mind while you're working on a drawing, but these are the top three that I try to keep in the back of my head. Number one is design intent. The drawing needs to convey to the manufacturer the features and the requirements of the part so that it does what you need it to do. They don't necessarily know that a bearing needs to press into this hole. You need to dimension that hole appropriately so that bearing presses in there. The second thing to keep in mind is manufacturability. Not only does it have to be physically possible to manufacture the part, but there are certain processes that are easier and cheaper and faster than others. So, you might design a certain set of features that it's possible to make, but you might have to wire EDM cut them, which means sending the part to another vendor, which means adding a bunch more cost. And third is inspectability. You need dimensions on the part that are inspectable. One of the most common things that I see people do is dimension to the center line of a part. And while that is possible, it's usually not useful or actually needed. You can usually dimension just as well from the edge of a part and tolerance things appropriately so that things work. Okay, now let's look at a quick example of a 1/2 inch diameter hole, and our default tolerance block for a 2-place dimension is plus or minus 20 thou. So we measure our bolt and it is 0.49. So if we apply our plus or minus 20 thou tolerance to the 1/2 inch, the hole can be anywhere from 0.48 to 0.52 inches in diameter. And 0.48 is not going to work for a 0.49 diameter bolt. But if our default 3-place tolerance is plus or minus 5, then that 0.50 dimension can be anywhere between 0.495 and 0.505. And now that works. So this is a really rough concept to keep in your head as well. I've drawn a ruler, calipers, and micrometers, so kind of progressing up in levels of accuracy. With a ruler, you might measure 1/16 of an inch, 30/2 of an inch. Calipers, you're going to be in 5 and 10 thou, and micrometers, you can be a thou or less. So it really just depends on what you're drawing. Just know that along with that accuracy comes cost. Tolerance stacked up is something I see people run into a lot. So in the top series of holes, each hole is dimensioned from its neighbor, and in the bottom one they're all dimensioned from the left hole. So part of ensuring that this hole pattern does what you need it to do is doing a tolerance analysis. So if we assume that all of these dimensions go to their maximum value, you can see that the top set of holes gets way further out of position than the bottom set because each dimension adds on to the one to the left of it. So here's a quick example drawing for a very simple part. But let's look at the number of decisions that you had to make during the drawing of this part. I'd be willing to bet that's more than you thought it would be. And it's important for even simple drawings to make sure that you really account for every feature on that part. Every feature needs to be defined, whether that's through a dimension or a note. You can't leave anything up to interpretation. And if you take anything from this video, I hope it's that point. Don't ever leave anything open to interpretation. So thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. I hope you learned something and you're a little more confident now making drawings of your own. Here are a couple of tips worth mentioning. Drawing sheets and section views are free. Don't be afraid to use them. Whenever possible, dimensioning lines shouldn't cross. Don't dimension hidden lines. When you think you're done with a drawing, print it out. You'll be amazed at how many things you'll notice having a physical copy in your hands. And if you can get somebody else you trust to check it, even better. At some point, you're going to be tempted to write the note, see CAD file for all dimensions. It's a cop-out. Don't do it.